by far, in my opinion, Deuce, this is the best video generation model that's out right now.
If you start learning some of these tools, man, you can start marketing yourself to like businesses in your area and you can sell your services after you learn these tools to
Oh
those
yeah.
businesses, right? What's up? What's up? What's up? Back at it again for another episode. It's your co-host, Deuce Noble.
Yes. How's it going, everybody? And it's your co-host DJ.
All right, man, DJ.
So, what's up, Deuce? What we got on going
Man,
on
it's been a
today?
great week, pretty cool week. A lot of things have been releasing, so I'm excited to talk about some of the things we have. Google and their Veo or Veo, I'm not sure exactly the right pronunciation, their
Yeah.
Veo 2, and also Google's Imagen 3. We're going to discuss and talk about, and we're going to talk about some of OpenAI's releases they have had this week in their 12 days of shipments. And what they're doing with ChatGPT and a few new things that they've released and a few other tidbits here and there. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and unpack it and get into it.
Yeah. Yes, we definitely will. I'm super excited about this because man, Google has me super pumped, and I've been using all of the new stuff that they've been releasing, testing it out, and trying it out. So I can't wait to kind of unpack that, and then get everybody's opinion about it too. So definitely leave some comments on this video because I really want you guys to jump in if you have access to Google or Gemini Advanced and the different models that they have available to them. Try them out and see what your thoughts is. But I can tell you right now, just off the top, that at the Chatbot Arena, um, Google's model is at the top of the list as it stands right now, and that's followed by ChatGPT 4.0, the latest model that they have, and then there's another Gemini model, which is the 2.0 Flash model. Um, so yeah, which part do you want to jump into? You want to jump into
Well, man, let's
VO2?
go ahead and dive into it.
Um,
VO2, let's talk about the ins and outs of what their um, new version has brought to the table and go from there.
Yeah, so from my perspective, I mean, with VO2, man, I'm definitely excited. I hate that it's all, you have to wait. Essentially, you have to, it's wait listed right now. And some people do have access to it, so you'll see across X or Twitter, certain videos. And by far, in my opinion, Deuce, this is the best video generation model that's out right now. And I've been working with video generation models for a while. Like I'm a big fan of Runway ML's models. Kling is really good. Minimax is good. A lot of these ones are really solid, but I just don't think that they're touching. I mean, like the coherency, just the way that it's that I mean the looks, the aesthetic, I mean just everything kind of goes together. It's very hard to tell if something is not realistic when you're looking at it. The animation is great. They have a bunch of examples, so you can go on deepmind.google/technologies/Veo. Um, and or VO. You're right with the pronunciation. I think it is VO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Either
thinking
way,
is
you can look
Veo.
at that. They have a whole bunch
Yeah.
of different examples.
No,
Yeah.
I think
So on YouTube, you'll see on Google DeepMind's page, they'll have examples there as well.
no, I think that the image generation and also the video generation is very lifelike. Veo is really knocking it out the park, and I'm going to double down on this and say I think by the end of 2025 we are absolutely going to have a full studio production movie, Hollywood production movie.
Here we
Listen, I
go
mean,
again. Here we
definitely,
go
like
again.
it just eat every week continues to get better. Like we talked about Sora, now we're on Veo 2. These video generation AIs are getting better and by the mile, right? I think, as we get into this is you just think about where they were in their version ones, right? Or their first versions, light years ahead. Their second versions, man, blow everything out the
Yeah.
water. I can only imagine what, maybe by Q2 next year, version 3 is going to be, incrementally better. So I think Veo 2 is really setting the pace for everything right now. And it's really exciting time for creators. Not only, creators like us, but also, other creators who use things like this, but also business owners who want to, hey, I need to create a video real quick and I don't have nearly enough tools to make that myself, but they can generate something like this, for a fraction of what they would before, right? And a lot easier, a lot faster.
Man, I'm telling you, with our creators, like myself, me, I've been putting out a lot of stuff on my socials for a while. I cannot wait to have access to this. So I signed up day one for the wait list for it. I wasn't, unfortunately, I wasn't one of the ones that were tapped to kind of leverage it yet, but I'm waiting, to see if I can. But you're right. To go back to Sora, Sora just came out, right? And I think everybody's using the Sora Turbo model, which may not be the full-fledged Sora, like full-fledged model. So, and Sora's outputs is pretty good, but it's just like the prompt adherence and everything like that with VO2 seems to be pretty good. I mean, they were putting in some highly detailed prompts that you'll see, and we'll link to everything so that way you can have a link to the images or the video output that VO2 has had. But either way, long story short, I mean, they'll have detailed prompts where it gives a lot of detail, and still, like, it finds a lot of that in the output. I mean, it's just really solid. And it's, the best looking. Like, I think, oh yeah, the output quality is up to 4K. So Sora, as it is right now, I think the max is 1080p, which is still pretty good. But a lot of the other ones are 720p. I think Runway ML is at 720p, and if I'm not mistaken, Clean and maybe Minimax, I think all of those are 720p if I'm not mistaken. Now you can do your own upscaling after that, but up to 4K quality
It's
is,
pretty good,
you can
right?
definitely tell a
It's pretty good
difference.
when it comes to doing things like that. Like you said, I mean, we're not making right now, full videos, really short videos, but the thing is, like the quality that you're getting with these, right? I think that this is really setting,
Hmm.
like I said, it's setting the pace for what's to come in the future. So I'm excited about what that brings. I know Google Labs is busy right now, cooking up something really, really cool for their next post. So yeah.
Nav data, their benchmarks, and everything like that that's up there. And I'm sure you can look across YouTube. Matt Vid Pro had a good video that showed kind of like their benchmarks and comparison. And a lot of people, if you just search VO2, a lot of people have reactions and things like that. So definitely check those out. Let us know what you think in the comments.
And if you are a creator,
And I
if
can't
you
wait to
are a
get a hold of that, and
creator,
you'll be seeing some of that.
yeah, if you're a creator that is looking to use tools like VO2 or Sora, let us know what kind of prompts you would use, right? I mean, what are some of the things you would use it for? Whether it's a business or whether it's, for a creative page or anything. We want to hear what you
Yeah.
guys are doing with it. And we will show you. Maybe we can maybe we can make some type of repository to show some small projects we work on just to show what we've been doing with a lot of this stuff,
Oh,
man.
for
I think that'll
sure.
be cool, right? We need to put something up so we can have our people see that.
Man, I can't wait to put that into some automations, man. Like, like leveraging this, like in the future when it's available via an API or something like that, it'll be pretty good. So what you got next on the
Man,
docket,
so
Deuce?
along with VO2, Imagen 3 release, which is, Google's state-of-the-art image generation.
Yep.
Really, really crisp, clean, nice images, highly realistic looking. We're always getting into the point of, blurred lines being hard to tell what's AI generated and what's not, because a lot of those images that come from Imagen 3, I've seen quite a few, and hey, they look amazing, right? And honestly,
Yeah.
it makes me think, creating these images, like you almost don't have to, I wonder what the copyright laws are like, right? The what your what that looks like, because sometimes people have copyright laws on images and different things, and just using that just for general things, right? So I'm interested to see like how that kind of blends aligns with AI and using imagery, because you're creating an, I mean, essentially it's an original art form, right? Or original image, right? So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool to see. But yeah, Imagen 3, Google's Imagen 3, new state of the art image generation. I'm excited for that as well, because why not use when you can use stock photos, you can create your own stock photos essentially, right?
Yeah. That's definitely true. I mean, I think stock photos is going to be really hard to. I mean, they're out there, and photographers. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've seen some great pictures that photographers come up with, and they have just like the vision and like. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but if you just need something, like you said, if you're a business, small business, and you want to use something to make sure that it's not copywritten, generating something like that. Granted, if you're getting something from a source that you can use those images from, but either way, I mean, a lot of these uh, image generators are just, they're super solid now. But going back to benchmarks and everything like that, uh, Imagen 3, I think topped, I don't know if they ran their own kind of survey to individuals, but essentially Imagen 3 had the highest rating as it comes to like individuals that were ranking them together. And Midjourney 6 was on there. I think it was 6 or 6.1, whichever the latest model that they're having. And now I still have I've used Midjourney from day one. I'll still use it. I love Midjourney, but Imagen was up there. And of course, you go Dolly 2, or no, Dolly 3. Where am I at? Dolly 3, which I'm wondering if I'm going to go back to see if OpenAI is going to release Dolly 4 during this 12 days of shipments. I wonder if that's going to be a thing because Sam Altman did have an interview the other day and during their dev day, and he hinted at something with image generation. So that'll be interesting to kind of see. But either way, Imagen 3 definitely looks super solid. A lot of the image generations right now, I think all of them are just kind of micro improvements, really going back to VO2, like it's a lot about the video generators right now. I mean, but yeah, image generations, a lot of them just look really realistic.
Absolutely. And if you guys are interested in looking more into Imagen 3, you can visit ImageFX and get started. It's available in more than 100 countries, of course, right here in the US. It is available. I encourage you guys, we'll link it below. So make sure you guys can check that out. Um, Also, kind of moving on a little bit, Google also released another one of their Google Labs projects called Whisk. It kind of a tool lets you prompt images to visualize your ideas. So it's another visual image generation tool. So that one you can also check out at
Yeah.
labs.google backslash whisk or forward slash, what is it? Backslash forward slash. But yeah, Whisk is it lets you quickly
Poor stuff.
remix and visualize ideas. Like I said, in my opinion, I think this would be great for a lot of new content. If you want to create, whip up, I do on the side. I used to do a lot of websites, right? And getting stock images was not necessarily the easiest to do, but I mean, it's obviously you could do it, right? But sometimes you got to be careful just because of, like I said, like I was talking about some of the copyright laws, some trademarks, and just that intellectual property sometimes is very very protected, right? So getting images, so I don't know what the legal side of this stuff is, but I feel like if you're creating the images yourself through these tools, you can use them with free will, right? And so yeah, so
Mm,
I might dive into that a little bit more.
nice, nice. All right, well, to keep things moving, definitely. So Gemini 2.0, and definitely, like I said, just to stay in the vein of Google as it's going right now. And I love everything, right? Like I don't really don't have, one that I'll just pick. Like I like trying all of them.
Man,
Like so, of
you're
course,
not a Google fanboy.
with Anthropic, with the and I mean, I like Anthropic's Claude models.
Man,
ChatGPT.
he got no
The
loyalty.
OpenAI's
He would jump ship
GPT
if he
models, and
needs to.
it's not jump
No,
ship, but
I'm
I'm
kidding.
just such a fan of the technology, and it keeps moving so fast, man. But I would say that right now, I mean, man, Google's just they've came out swinging. They're ended the year like pretty solid. So we all know that Gemini is Google's model. It used to be Bard, but they've released. They have it for the advanced people that pay it's like the equivalent of ChatGPT Plus, right? So you pay your $20 a month, and I think they wrapped it into their Google One. But either way, they've had 1.5 Pro, 1.5 Flash before. Now they've released the 2.0 Flash experimental model. So that's been out for maybe a week or a couple days or whatever case is. Just to just today they released the 2.0 experimental advanced model, and that's the one that's actually leading the Chatbot Arena's competition as a yeah leaderboard right now. So that's the one that's at the top, and I've used it. It's very coherent, very good, very really great with the conversation. And I think really. If you this is for our individuals that if you're gonna be doing coding, so this is like super analytical. That is the use case that I think you really get the best bang for your buck leveraging it. It does not have all the tools. Like I don't think it has real time information. Like it's not pulling from the internet. There's no uh like no rag process going on basically where it's pulling in new information to my understanding. But either way, the 2.0 flash experimental though, that one does have real-time information and it pulls that one, and that one's super solid as well. That's the one that I think has Imagen 3, where you can kind of leverage that and you can have it create an image, and it has a coherency to where like you could just say, hey, can you change the car color to a different color, like if you have it create your car, and it'll change that, but it'll keep everything else the same. Like it's just, very
So
solid.
actually, well, no, to your point, I mean, those are like makes it really clean, especially the incremental updates they have. One thing I was just reading real quick over here about Whisk. The thing about the what makes Whisk a little different is you would upload images. You would prompt. Your prompt is with pictures, so it gives you so you give the
Hmm.
tool an idea of what you're looking for, and it prints out. I mean, not prints out. It outputs another image based on what you're looking for. And then you can refine it with
Yeah.
your prompt in words. So a little bit different than Imagen where, that prompt is of your but and this is kind of one of my speculations. All these tools or um, they call it projects at Google that they're putting out in Google Labs. They're really testing them out, and ultimately, I think they're going to all be combined in one big thing. Google is notorious for doing that, right? They have all these projects they put
Mm.
out, and they test them out to see what sticks, what doesn't. Ultimately, they're going to make some big conglomerate tool that's going to have all of these features in it in one, which I think is kind of cool, right? So, depending on your use case and anyone else's use case that may want to do it or use it, whisk away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what they'll how they'll put it into a product, um, with their go-to-market strategy, like what they're actually trying to implement. But I mean, that could be one approach. I mean, to put all the tools together, and they are adding in more and more models, like to their Gemini Advanced or their Gemini like kind of user interface. Which is pretty cool to me. So yeah, I'm just, but they have done a good job. Like if you ask it a question where it needs to pull from YouTube, or if you drop a YouTube link video in there, you'll see that it'll bring it basically bring in YouTube like a tool. Well, that gets to another point. I mean, the whole agentic type flow that they're working on too. But we can table that from now. But they have access to all these tools because they are Google, right? So your Gmail, they can pull from your documents. I got asked it a question the other day, and it pulled from my Google documents, and like so it brought in information from there. And I forgot that it had that ability and that I enabled it. But it just it's getting really good about being able to select what tool it needs to do to get the task or objective done. And then, I'm just thinking, like I've always said, and I'm gonna stand on this, that I think Google and Apple are really poised to really help this out because people use their products. Microsoft too. I mean, but I think a lot of people use Chrome. They use, Gmail, and they use YouTube. So it's just a lot of stuff that they have that contextual knowledge about an individual and really help them personalize their experiences. Um, but before I forget, so 1.5 Pro with deep research. That's also another one of their models. I use that a lot. Like I had it running something today, and it was like saying that it was searching 233 websites, and it basically you can ask it to research something, and it'll spend time. You'll see it go through a thinking process, and it'll gather the information. And before you even start it, it shows you like basically what it'll how it's gonna what it's gonna consider in its research and all of the things. I would definitely suggest everybody to go try that out if you have access to Gemini Advanced. Because if there's something that you're researching, it cites its sources, it puts it in a great format, it lets you know like where it's pulling, like I
All I
said, the
want to know
information
is where
from.
was this stuff when I
I
was
don't
in
know.
grad
I'm
school? That's what I want to know. Where was like when I was writing my
yeah,
papers, I
yeah,
just
yeah,
wish
yeah.
like where was this at
Go
when I
ahead,
was in
yeah,
grad school? And I was like, that wasn't that long ago. That's
man.
I,
No,
but no, like.
Yeah, you matter of fact, yeah, you missed it.
Like
You
just
missed
literally as soon as I graduated, all
you
this stuff wanted to
missed
take
it.
off, and
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's funny to that point.
It is so original,
I
bro.
have a buddy of mine who's a professor at a college in California, and he's like, man, grading these papers, and he can spot it a mile away with some certain stuff that students try to do. But I mean,
Mm,
nevertheless, kind of going down that rabbit hole. But I think that a lot of these tools really are helpful, right? Really are good for there's good in it, right? There's good in it, there's bad in it, and there's really evil, right? And I think, or just not want to say evil, just like ugly, like really ugly parts of a lot of this
yeah.
technology. And I know we've been kind of harping on all the good and all the stuff that we think is really, really great, right? And I mean, just playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate, there's really things that, there's a fine lines between a lot of that stuff. And, it'd be really remiss not to mention, like, hey, a lot of this stuff, use at your own under your own discretion. Like you said, you allowed Gemini 2, you gave it the ability to look through your Google Drive, right? Just, allowing that piece to work, right? Because, you know, looking through, some of your data, it's almost not, I wouldn't say scary, but it's like alarming, like, man, I got all this information out there and this it can access it, right? And this is tool.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think about
Yep.
is like between Google, between Apple, and maybe Facebook and now maybe Tesla, look. The Cyberdyne or whatever that was in Terminator, what's that company with the robots? Look, somebody's going, one of them to join up and Microsoft too, they're going to join up, and it's going to be the end of the world type of thing with all of these companies, man. But a lot of this technology is really, really good. Like I said, it is here. It's here to stay, and I think that we all should take advantage of it. As always, man. That's literally my piece, the side I'm sticking on with it.
Yeah, I'm hoping for utopia versus dystopia, right? So I'm hoping for a utopian type future or whatever. I mean, but you never know. But we all have all seen Terminator. We have
Man,
definitely all seen
not
it. But
just
I don't
Terminator,
know.
but
As it is
yeah,
right now, it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of movies, but I don't know. The tech is just it's really cool. It's fascinating to kind of see how fast that it's growing and leveraging it. And really for our entrepreneurs and other people, is just finding out how to ways to do this to create value for yourself, companies, others. So like I said, if you know a lot of small businesses in your area, setting up some AI automation for them, leveraging some of these tools, they're only getting better and better. And also just like, for your own personal brand, if you need to whip up images or if you need to, put out content and have somebody kind of co-create with you, you're seeing a lot of these video editing tools leverage AI to kind of automate captions. And, it's just really it's enabling things to be a lot easier. And I think really that just lets people focus on what they like, the creative aspect of whatever they're doing, and less on like some of the,
yeah.
just mundane tasks that they have to do. You know
And
what I mean? So
actually,
that's the cool thing I like about it is freeing up the time to
yeah,
do what you
actually,
like.
I'm a double back on something you said real quick, and I think just in general, a great business idea, if you start learning some of these tools, man, you can start marketing yourself to like businesses in your area. Say, hey, I know how to do some AI generation, generate, different things for you in your business. And you can sell your services after you learn these tools to
Oh
those
yeah,
businesses, right? Because you got to think these businesses, times are changing, right? And businesses need to keep up. And sometimes businesses struggle with keeping up,
yeah.
especially depending on the type of businesses, right? Um, Man, if you're looking for, something to, another stream of income you want to kind of explore, learning some of these tools really could, and if you invest in yourself just a little bit, small little investment, it could really turn a profit in these. So I just wanted to double back on something you said because I think that's really cool. Look, I might even look into that too. But what businesses need some AI generation out there, huh?
That's yeah, a lot of them because you got to think, man, like some like dentist office, right? You might have a dentist who's really good at doing that, and they really have passion about doing that, but they
Right.
don't care about the marketing
And
necessarily
not even
or their social media content. And not that they don't care, they may not have the time to kind of do it all right to manage the business. So if you look at a lot of them and you can kind of find out how you can kind of leverage the tools or creating social content, it's just you just got to get super creative. You know, there's a lot of avenues basically where you can find where you can kind of fit in to leverage these platforms. Or, of course, if people are building it right now for our individuals that are watching that are thinking of a startup company. I mean, like, if you have some data scientists or if you have it, if you're an engineer yourself, I mean, like, right now is just time. The VC money is just wild right now when it comes to these AI startups. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to AI startups right now, I mean, like if you have a good pitch and you have like a solid product and you really have a solid problem that you're trying to solve out there in the market that you really think you can bite into, I would suggest working with a lot with the incubators. And what are those other groups like Geekdom, and just there's other places like that that you can kind of work with and kind of collaborate with individuals and get these things off the ground and get some good seeding in. 'Cause right now, you're still early in that game to kind of jump in, find a problem that you can solve, and really build a
No,
product out of it.
absolutely. I think that we're going to see this market continue to grow. And I think that,
Yeah.
I think I did a case study couple years ago that over the next, I want to say maybe 10 years, VC funding for in general, well, no, not in general. I think I was looking in maybe the STEM area or field. VC funding for STEM fields is going to grow to over 10 billion, right? So if you really want to look into something that's just along STEM, VC funding right now, it's really the Wild West.
Hmm.
It's almost like when the dot-com bubble was up and companies were getting funded by a lot of things. Right now, it's a great time to kind of really start a company, if you would like, and then kind of learn how to grow that company, develop it, and kind of launch it, and then look for some VC. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to do that. Unicorns, what they call in the VC world, are very hard to come by, but it is something that is highly likely. A lot of these AI companies and a lot of AI tools it's really the next wave.
Hmm.
Was it what year was it? 2017, 18. We was working on things with augmented reality and virtual reality, and they
We're
right,
super early,
we
man.
were
Super
we were
early on
too
that.
early,
Yeah.
right? And they were like, "Hey, by 2022, this is really going to take off," and it probably would have. But the thing is, 2018, 2019, we're working on things. It kind of fell off, and then of course, COVID hit, kind of put a back burner on a lot of things because we were too early to the game. Right now, I think with the new generation of AI coming in, um, and really, it's just machine learning that is really going on with all these language models and LLMs and different things. It's all kind of in the same wheelhouse that's really kind of growing. Right now, it's exploding, going crazy. I could only imagine what's going to happen at CNET next year. What's the conference that CNET has
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year in Vegas?
No, the
Yeah,
CES,
CES.
Consumer
Yeah,
Electronics
yeah, yeah,
Show.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I can't. Oh, we got to do a review of that. But yeah, but anyway, I think this stuff is going to be really, really great and take off.
Review. We
Oh
gotta
man,
go.
man, you know what?
We
We
gotta
should do a.
go. Yeah,
You know what? Let's
we gotta
go.
go.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do a live show at CES. But
We need
we
to
need to
go, man.
go.
Yeah. I think we should go. Like, cause I would go every year. I stopped going like right before. Right during the, when the
Yeah,
pandemic, because they went virtual for a couple of years. But CES, that's where, of course, what they can show. There's a R&D labs where they don't show everything. But I mean, like the whole point is like you showcase, you see a lot of the tech. But yeah, man, I just think the world is going to look a lot different in the next 5 years for sure. Because you can see all the acceleration. And to go back to your earlier point, I think they're looking at by 2026 could reach 900 billion potentially, and then 2.7 trillion by 2032. And the
on the VC world.
basically in the market growth when it comes, yeah, market growth for artificial intelligence. I
That's,
mean,
I
those are
mean, that's
huge
money.
numbers. But you see the value though. I mean,
The
like
value
it's
is
a
there. No, the
huge
value is
value
there. The return
potential.
is there. And I'm not just saying they're giving this money out, right? I mean, they're not. This is something that you gotta, I want to say work for, but you have to have something very, very unique, and in that niche market. And that's kind of where hey, we're trying to help you, point you guys in the right direction into your own niche market. There's tools out there. There's money
Yeah,
out there. Get to that money, right? Get to that bag. I think that should be, a thing.
for
Get to
sure.
the bag, GTTB.
Get to the bag. But yeah, like always, we will keep you up to date on all the, latest stuff. I guess I'll end it with this is that OpenAI, they did have, they've been having their 12 days of shipments as we kind of discussed earlier, and definitely in one of our last episodes. But, so since then they've announced that they've opened up search to where you can search, for up-to-date information to everybody, like to even free accounts. And I'm highly, generalizing it. I mean, it was definitely more than that. But today, one of the things that they released was the 1-800 chat GPT,
One
where
eight
you can actually
hundred Chat
call
GPT.
chat GPT. Yes, and they just kept saying it over and over. But I guess the thing is, like, if you don't have access to a computer or a stable connection, internet connection, or whatever the case is, you can call and still leverage the platform. The comment section where I read, they were just like, this is kind of
You
trolling and
know,
all this other. But I mean, I
I
get it.
think
For individuals that may,
it's one of those
need
spoof.
it, I don't know how
It's
much
one
it
of
would be
those
leveraged,
spoof
but yeah,
things where it's like they have it, how much it'll be used. It's a hotline at this point. I,
it is a
I'm
hotline,
an
AI
AI
hotline,
hotline is crazy.
an
Man,
AI
look,
hotline.
I just want
Yeah.
to know, like, they gotta play the hotline bling. Look,
They have
if
to
they
pay some
were
royalties
smart
for
with
that,
their
man.
marketing, they would have brought Drake in there to do hotline bling on their 1-800 Chat GPT. That would have
On
got
the
him back
chat
on top. But that would have put him on the Super Bowl for next year, right? But no, I think
Wow, man, that's
no,
wild.
I think it does seem like a troll thing, but it's cool because they're trying to make sure that this technology is accessible to everyone, no matter what, right? Granted, I
Yeah.
don't know how well or how much people may use it. Um,
It's also in WhatsApp, so not just there was two announcements. Essentially, it was the 1-800 chat GPT, and then also they enabled it in WhatsApp. So basically, you can invoke chat GPT in WhatsApp. So, and in WhatsApp, we all know, I mean, definitely internationally huge, right? So it is an accessibility thing, like just making sure, which that is one of their mandates, to kind of try to get it out to everybody. So like I said, I get it. To some people, like if you go in the comments, you're gonna have a lot of indifferences and opinions. Some of the other releases that they've had out of the 12-day of shipments, like, oh, I can't, this is awesome. They had it, but today it looks like it was a little bit
hey,
kind of mixed with that announcement.
the next release, they're probably going to have one of those Dogecoin type of a meme, was it a meme coin, a meme stock, stock that they're going to drop.
Oh, meme
I
stock, a
think they're
meme
going to
coin
drop
or
a meme
something. Yeah,
stock. And
maybe.
honestly, look, I would have hated it. Like it'd be smart, Hey, OpenAI execs, if y'all thinking about your last day of shipments, go ahead and drop that for me, but give me a little bit of stock on the side with it. But no, anyway, DJ, I think that was definitely a lot of cool things that have dropped, released, and a lot of different use cases we've talked about, right? I think that, like I said, this is always going to be something that we want to give to you guys, our listeners, our subscribers. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know how you guys may use some of those tools or your thoughts about using some of those tools, if you guys do or not. Let us know if you think they're cool or not, right? And I think that, I'm going to check out a few things. I might even one day just call up 1-800 1-800 Chat
Chat
GPT.
GPT and see.
See what's popping on the AI hotline.
Hey, don't get in trouble now. Don't get in trouble
Hey,
now. Who's
listen, who
that?
that?
It's
Oh man,
Jake
this
from
is
State
not
Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Well, she sounds ugly. She sounds.
But they have so much potential
You
for
asked her to
that
change up the
commercial.
stuff.
They could use like you said the old boy Jake from State Farm. They could have ran Drake with the hotline bling. Who's running their marketing right now? I need to
Yeah,
talk to
that's.
OpenAI because they really missed the mark.
Yeah,
You know,
they might maybe they'll do something like that. Maybe they have something in the pipeline.
that
But
made me think.
yep, we
That
shall
made me
see.
think that they might have a Super Bowl commercial, and I think they should. We're gonna see.
I mean, they definitely have the capital for it after that last round of investment. So
Listen. All right.
yeah,
Anyway, guys,
we want
I
to
would love to
appreciate
have
y'all.
a
Yeah,
round of investment like that into our show. So, like, comment, subscribe, and share so that everyone can invest in us like they invested in OpenAI. Maybe we'll have some ideas for you guys. But hey,
I
you
like
guys
it.
leave a comment in below. We'll link everything in the captions in the show notes. And until next time, peace, you guys.
Peace.